الحمد لله على إحسانه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له تعظيما لشأنه وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الداعي إلى رضوانه صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد, حياكم Allah, brothers and sisters. Here we are in our weekly Tafseer class, particularly Ayah number 34 of Surah Saba. فتفضل يا شيخ.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وما أرسلنا في قرية من نذير إلا قال مترفوها إنا بما أرسلتم به كافرون وقالوا نحن أكثر أموالا وأولادا وما نحن بمعذبين قل إن ربي يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء ويقدر ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون وما أموالكم ولا أولادكم بالتي تقربكم عندنا زلفى إلا من آمن وعمل صالحا فأولئك لهم جزاء الضعف بما عملوا وهم في الغرفات آمنون والذين يسعون في آياتنا معاجزين أولئك في العذاب محضرون قل إن ربي يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء من عباده ويقدر له وما أنفقتم من شيء فهو يخلفه وهو خير الرازقين.
Tamam. Subhanallah. And we did not send into a city any warner except that its affluent said, indeed, we in that with which you were sent are disbelievers. Sounds familiar? And they said, we are more than the believers in wealth and children, and we are not to be punished. Say, indeed, my Lord extends provision for whom he wills and restricts it, but most of the people do not know. And it is not your wealth or your children that bring you nearer to us in position, but it is by being one who has believed and done righteousness. For them there will be the double reward for what they did, and they will be in the upper chambers of paradise, safe and secure. And the ones who strive against our verses to cause them failure, those will be brought into the punishment to remain. Say, indeed, my Lord extends provision for whom he wills of his servants and restricts it for him. But whatever thing you spend in his cause, he will compensate it, and he is the best of providers. Now, those are some powerful ayat, and they highlight the reality of today and the reality of the disbelievers today. The Shaykh says, Rahimahullah, يخبر تعالى عن حالة الأمم الماضية المكذبة للرسل أنها كحال هؤلاء الحاضرين المكذبين لرسول محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Allah informs us about the affair and the condition of the previous nations that belied their messengers, that they are just like the current nations who have belied the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they are basically the same as the ones we have today, even within the adherents to Islam, in terms of their so-called logical arguments. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ إِذَا أَرْسَلَ رَسُولًا فِي قَرْيَةٍ مِّنَ الْقُرَىٰ, and that whenever Allah sends forth among any of the villages a messenger, كَفَرَ بِهِ مُتْرَفُوهَا, the affluent, the rich, the influential, the leaders, the elite among them, they disbelieve in him. وَأَبْطَرَتْهُمْ نِعْمَتُهُمْ وَفَخِرُوا بِهَا, and they become deluded and they become arrogant and prideful because of the bounties that they have received from Allah. And they become also, basically, they start boasting. They become boastful because of that. وَقَالُوا نَحْنُ أَكْثَرُ أَمْوَالًا وَأَوْلَادًا أَيْ مِمَّنِ اتَّبَعَ الْحَقَّ. They said, we are more in terms of wealth and children than those who have followed the truth. وما نحن بمعذبين أي أولا لسنا بمبعوثين. So first of all, they're denying resurrection. The first thing they're saying is we're not going to be resurrected. فإن بعثنا, but if we were hypothetically, if we were to be resurrected, فالذي أعطانا الأموال والأولاد في الدنيا, the one who has given us the wealth and the children in this worldly life, سيعطينا أكثر من ذلك في الآخرة ولا يعذبنا. He will surely give us more in the life to come, and he will not torture us. He will not punish us. فأجابهم الله تعالى بأن بسط الرزق وتضييقه ليس دليلا على ما زعمتم. So Allah replied to them by showing them and telling them that the expansion of the sustenance or the restriction of such is not an indication as they claim. فإن الرزق تحت مشيئة الله, because rizq, sustenance, is under the will of Allah. إن شاء بسطه لعبده وإن شاء ضيقه. If Allah wills, He will expand it to His slave, and if He wills, He will restrict it. Meaning Allah has made some people rich and some people poor. Some people just make money, they don't even know how. And some people, no matter what they do, they can't make money. Some people have the upper hand, some people have the lower hand. Some people are the givers and some people are the recipients, the receivers. It's the wisdom of Allah that He's made whoever has been given wealth does not mean he's better than the one who's receiving wealth. And vice versa. Just because you're poor doesn't mean that you're a better Muslim, because a lot of people say, oh, the poor Muslims, these are the best Muslims. Yes, there are signs and there are indications. It could be the case on Yawm al-Qiyamah. The person with less wealth will go to paradise way before the person with a lot of wealth, because the person with a lot of wealth has a lot of accountability to go through in terms of how he earned it and how he spent it. So the poor person has an easy access, per se, to Jannah. But just because a person is poor doesn't mean he's a better Muslim than the rich one. Because that poor Muslim could be poor and miserly, could be poor and wicked, could be poor and have all kinds of problems, while the rich Muslim could be the one spending in the cause of Allah left, right, and center. He could actually be utilizing the wealth Allah gave him in a manner that is pleasing to Allah, in which case he is surely superior to the one who doesn't have any wealth. Capish? So there's a balance there. Bismillah. وليست الأموال والأولاد بالتي تقرب إلى الله زلفى وتدني إليه. It isn't wealth and children that will get you closer to Allah and get you nearer to Him. And you know what I'm amazed at right now? I'm amazed at the fluctuating number of viewers. So the viewers jump down from 35 or some 30 something to 21. That means people actively join. They see, oh, it's just tafsir, and then they go away. If they join and they saw me saying, Nu'man Ali Khan, the wicked deviant, they're going to stick around. If I said Yasser Qadi with another stunt, they're going to stick around. If there's anything controversial, they will stick around and listen attentively and carefully and leave essays and comments. But, oh, it's just a tafsir. Oh, it's just the book of Allah. Oh, you're just discussing the ayat of Allah that He revealed. Oh, that's not cool. Oh, that's not engaging. I'm out. And I'm not saying everybody's like that. There could be some people that genuinely saw the notification, checked it out, had other things to do, more important things to do, and left. No problem. I'm not generalizing by any means. But are there a good number of people, as previously described? For sure. For sure. And it's sad. It's sad that people only love drama. But tafsir in and of itself, not important. Q&A, amen. Yalla. Watch, it's 23 right now. 23. Watch by the time we reach the Q&A, inshallah, what number we would have. Q&A, amen. Tafsir, nah, thanks. Keep it to yourself, brother. I already know the book of Allah. What are you teaching? I am already well versed in all the sciences of Islam. Oh, I am a mufassir of my time. I am the mujtahid of this ummah. I am Ibn Taymiyyah of the 2024 year. I don't need to learn anything from you. or from Sheikh Abdurrahman Nasir al-Sa'di alayhi rahmatullah. No. I already know all of these words. You are مجنون. خذ هذه حطها عندك في السيستم. طيب. So وتدني إليه. So it isn't your wealth and your children that will get you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and get you nearer to Him. وإنما الذي يقرب منه زلف الإيمان بما جاء به المرسلون والعمل الصالح الذي هو من لوازم الإيمان. What really gets you nearer to Allah is your iman in that which the messengers have brought, and righteousness and righteous deeds, which is from the necessities and the byproducts of having iman. فإن أولئك, those people who have iman and amal salih, لهم الجزاء عند الله تعالى مضاعفا. They will have their reward with Allah multiplied. الحسنة بعشر أمثالها إلى 700 ضعف إلى أضعاف كثيرة لا يعلمها إلا الله. The good deed is multiplied by 10 up to 700 times, 700-fold, into even greater than that. None knows it but Allah. وهم في الغرفات آمنون أي في المنازل العاليات المرتفعات جدا. So they will be in the extremely high and lofty abodes. ساكنين فيها مطمئنين. They will be residing therein comfortably. مطمئن is when you're in a state of tranquility, happiness, and satisfaction. آمنون من المكدرات والمنغصات لما هم فيه من اللذات وأنواع المشتهيات. الله، كم تعرفون من اللغة العربية يا عباد الله؟ كم تعرفون من اللغة العربية حتى تعرفوا معنى المكدرات والمنغصات والمشتهيات؟ هل تعرفون هذا الكلام وهل تفقهون ما يقال؟ هل عندكم من الفوكابولاري ما ينفع وما يكفي لتستوعبوا وتفهموا هذه الألفاظ الجميلة من اللغة العربية الفاضلة؟ الله أعلم. مكدرات يعني the mood ruiners. منغصات is the things that leave you unhappy. It's like something that bursts your bubble. So they will be free from any disturbance, any annoyance, anything that will mess with their mood while they are on these lofty places. And because they will have all types of pleasures and things that they desire. مشتهيات, الشيء المشتهى is that which you desire. وآمنون من الخروج منها والحزن فيها. And they are further safe from ever exiting Jannah or from ever feeling grief therein. وأما الذين سعوا في آياتنا على وجه التعجيز لنا ولرسلنا والتكذيب أولئك في العذاب محضرون. As for those who strive, those who make an effort in diverting people from our ayat in a manner where they try to, deny or belie the messengers, or to, give impossible challenges that supposedly the messengers cannot meet, those then, they will be brought into the adhab and they will be left therein to remain. ثم أعاد تعالى, then Allah Azza wa Jal repeated, أنه يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء من عباده ويقدر له ليرتب عليه قوله وما أنفقتم من شيء. So Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned again that He expands His sustenance, His provision to whomever He wills from among His slaves, and He restricts it. He restricted in order to mention what follows, and that is وما أنفقتم من شيء نفقة واجبة أو مستحبة على قريب أو جار أو مسكين أو يتيم أو غير ذلك. Listen to this now. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing that you spend, whatever you spend, whether it is an obligatory type of spending or merely a voluntary, supererogatory, voluntary, additional, optional spending, whether it is upon a relative, قريب is من القربة. It's your relative. أو جار, or your neighbor. أو مسكين, or a poor person. أو يتيم, or an orphan. أو غير ذلك, or anything other than that. Anything other than that. يرحمك الله. فهو تعالى يخلفه. It is He subhanahu wa ta'ala who will compensate it. فلا تتوهموا أن الإنفاق مما ينقص الرزق. Don't be deluded. Don't have this false dichotomy that spending will decrease your sustenance. Don't you ever think that if you spend in the cause of Allah, whether obligatory or voluntary, it will actually diminish or it will take away from your wealth. No, no, no. Allah will compensate it. بل وعد بالخلف للمنفق الذي يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء ويقدر. Rather, بل الوعد بالخلف, the one who promised that to the spender is the one who actually provides whomever he wills and restricts. So the one who's giving you that promise is none but Allah, who gives whomever he wills. وهو خير الرازقين, and He is the best of providers. فاطلبوا الرزق منه, so seek provision from Him. واسعوا في الأسباب التي أمركم بها, and strive and follow the means that He commanded you. Meaning, people tell you, "Akhi, this is my risk. It's my risk not to have a job." Yes, it is your risk not to have a job when you don't look for one, when you don't improve yourself, when you don't learn skills, when you don't prepare your CV, when you don't lie on your CV. I've reached the point where I don't even read CVs anymore. You know what I do in job interviews, right? Part of my job is to interview people. And so I don't even care about the CV, because I know the CV is, illa man rahimallah, is nothing but a bunch of copied and pasted information from someone else. And it's a bunch of exaggerated lies. Straight up. Straight up. And I am, in my career, I don't know how many people I've interviewed. Maybe the exception could be 1%. 1% of people had a legitimate CV wherein they feared Allah Azza wa Jal in it. Anyone who doesn't practice Islam, for the most part, their CV is nothing but a bunch of lies. I'm a great team worker. Dude has fought with every single team he worked with. Patient at the time of need. Dude has zero patience. Kind to customers. He's fought with 80 customers per week. Man, nothing on the CV matches real life. So you know what I do? If you really want to know the capability of the person you're interviewing, I ask him one question, which will, from that question, I already know where it's going to go. A question that most people can't handle. I say, tell me about yourself in 1 minute only, and do not mention anything mentioned in the CV. And you will be surprised at the variety and the diversity of answers and replies you get from people. Ya Allah, it's actually, I enjoy this moment of the day more than the cup of coffee sometimes, just to see what kind of reaction I'm gonna get. And man, I'm telling you, I've heard everything under the sun. First of all, you have the most people get dumbfounded. Most people are like, what? Why? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? That's the most default answer. What do you mean? They don't understand. Excuse me. The second default answer is, but everything I have is in the CV. I tell them, your CV is how many pages? They say 1 or 2. I say, your entire life, your entire existence has been jammed into a page? Isn't your CV your work history, more or less, and your qualifications? Yes. So I said, beyond that, you have nothing else to add? And many people say no. If you want to know about me, that's why I have a CV. That person will never get hired. This attitude, as soon as you corner them a little bit, they become frustrated and they can't manage. These people will never get hired. Not with me, at least. Then you have a people who they begin, okay, let's say I say, when they come in, your name, Abdullah Ahmed. Okay, I write down on my Samsung Note, on my S Pen, Abdullah Ahmed. I say, Abdullah, tell me about yourself in 1 minute. Do not mention anything mentioned in the CV. So he says, My name is Abdullah Ahmed. I say, Abdullah, is your name mentioned in CV? He said, yes. I said, I just told you don't mention anything mentioned in CV. He said, yeah. I said, bro, we already established your name is Abdullah. You came in, you said you're Abdullah. I asked your name Abdullah. You saw me write down Abdullah. I literally said, Abdullah, tell me about yourself. And then you tell me Abdullah again. Is that in the CV or not? He said, it's in the CV. So you've mentioned something that is in the CV. People don't pay attention to details. People don't pay attention to details. Then they, they're like, oh, okay, fine, you got me. I started working. I said, you started working? Is that in the CV? Yes. Yaki, what is the matter with you? You don't understand? Then you have people that go on for 10 seconds and people that go on for 3 minutes. Did I not say for 1 minute? I literally gave you 60 seconds. I am yet to find one smart human being on planet Earth who could ace this. Which will be, 1 moment, sir. Turn on the timer on his watch. I gave him 1 minute, 60 seconds. Click. I love football. Let's say this is not in a hobby. My favorite team is Real Madrid. I enjoy scuba diving. Actually, I've been wanting to travel my whole life. I don't have enough money to travel. Maybe if I get this job, inshallah, I will finally establish myself as a person who is qualified and Then when the minute is over, done. I am yet to meet a human being who could do this. And then I have people that literally say, I don't have anything to say. Wallah al-azim, they got stuck. For 10 minutes, they can't think of anything outside the CV. I don't know how we got to this, but you get the point. No, you don't get the point, actually, because I really don't know how we got to this. So this is basically the skills. Yes, you haven't learned anything, and therefore you're not going to get a job because you don't have any self-development plan in the pipeline, because you haven't worked on yourself, because you're not able to manage those kind of situations, because you're not thinking straight. You're preoccupied with I don't know what else. Bottom line is, if you ever go into an interview, it's all about being sharp. It's all about being smart. It's all about paying attention to details. It's all about selling yourself. Oh yes, we're talking about lying on the CV. So those people that had written, I work very well under pressure, and as soon as I ask them a single question, they literally fall apart. I already know that you don't work well and under pressure. You're irritated by me, and I'm not even your boss yet. I'm just interviewing you to become your boss, and you're already fed up with me. How are you going to deal with me on a day when I'm in a bad mood and I start, scolding you and telling you, hey, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you delivered the project on time, blah, blah. These people are going to pull the plug and quit. You don't need no quitter in your team. So CVs are a bunch of lies. People lie in their CV and they tell you, Akhi, I'm not getting a job. Akhi, you're a liar. You're a liar. They tell, they said, started working in this company until present. And he was fired 2 years ago. Then you say, you're still working at Huawei? No, Allah, I stopped working last year. So why does it say on the CV until present? I didn't update my CV. Yabni, how do you come to an interview and you don't bother to update one word on your CV? Remove present and put January 2023. إيش بك أنت؟ كذاب يا رجل. أنت كذاب. You're a liar. And if I didn't catch it, you would just hope that I will just assume that you're still working. You've been unemployed for a year. Tells you on the CV that he's working in this company until present. Lying and liars. Haram, up and down, all over the place. So, the sustenance is what we're talking about. So yeah, follow the means Allah made, meaning you have to work on yourself to become the better version of yourself to succeed. Otherwise, don't say that you don't know why you're poor. طيب, ayah number 40 يا حاج.
ويوم يحشرهم جميعا ثم يقول للملائكة أهؤلاء إياكم كانوا يعبدون قالوا سبحانك أنت ولينا من دونهم بل كانوا يعبدون الجن أكثرهم بهم مؤمنين فاليوم لا يملك بعضكم لبعض نفعا قالوا سبحانك أنت ولينا من دون كانوا يعبدون الجن أكثرهم بهم مؤمنون فاليوم لا يملك بعضكم لبعض نفعا ولا ضرا ونقول للذين ظلموا ذوقوا عذاب النار التي كنتم بها تكذبون.
All right. And mention the day when we will gather them all, and they say to the angels that these people used to worship you. They will say, exalted are you. You, O Allah, are our benefactor, excluding them. Rather, they used to worship the jinn. Most of them were believers in them. But today, you do not hold for one another benefit or harm. And you will say to those who wrong, taste the punishment of the fire which you used to deny. The Shaykh Rahimahullah says, ويوم يحشرهم جميعا أي العابدين لغير الله والمعبودين من دونه من الملائكة. So who will be gathered all together? Both the worshippers besides Allah and those that were worshipped from those who are other than the angels. ثم يقول الله للملائكة. Then Allah will say to the angels على وجه التوبيخ لمن عبدهم. And those who used to worship the angels, those who used to, the angel worshippers and the angels. Allah will say to the angels in a manner of reprimanding them for being worshipped. أهؤلاء إياكم كانوا يعبدون? Did they used to worship you? فتبرؤوا عن عبادتهم من عبادتهم. So they will declare their disassociation from the worship that the people were engaging in. وقالوا سبحانك أي تنزيها لك وتقديسا أن يكون لك شريك أو ند. And they will say how perfect you are, meaning elevating Allah and deifying Him above having a partner or a rival. أنت ولينا من دونهم فنحن مفتقرون إلى ولايتك. You are our protector besides them, meaning we are in need of your protection. مضطرون إليها. We are in a state of necessity and need for it. كيف ندعو غيرنا إلى عبادتنا? How is it then that we will call other to worship us when we need you? أم كيف نصلح لأن نتخذ من دونك أولياء وشركاء? Or how would it even be right that we would be taken besides you as allies and as partners? ولكن هؤلاء المشركون كانوا يعبدون الجن أي الشياطين. Those disbelievers used to worship the jinn, i.e. the devils. يأمرونهم بعبادتنا أو عبادة غيرنا. The devils were commanding them to worship us or other than us, i.e. to worship angels or other than angels. So who do you look at? Look at the Christians. Look at the Christians worshiping saints and worshiping Jesus and worshiping the mother of Jesus and worshiping the cross and worshiping everything under the sun. Anything goes for a Cristiano Ronaldo. Everything goes. And look at the Hindus. The Hindus, they've expanded their list of gods into private parts. These people are wild, man. The Hindus are the filthiest people on planet Earth. Nasty, dung eating, dung showering, urine drinking, urine sharing, elephant worshipping. You just want to vomit in the middle of the sentence. Repugnant, disgusting set of people. The worst people among the disbelievers. The atheists who are horrible in terms of their disbelief and denying Allah, but they usually come from some sort of cleanliness and some background of some sort of civilization. The Hindus are just nasty, man. They are a nasty bunch of people in human form. And they harm the Muslims big time. They have huge animosity against the Muslims. So if you're ever bored, just watch a compilation of these Hindus trying to transfer their false gods, the elephant with 18 trunks and 14 tails, or some monkey or some rat or some, I'm not going to mention the private parts, but you understand, transferring from one location to another only for it to fall on them and kill like 3-4 of them, or the cow that they worship just wind up, goring someone to death while you're watching them in the street, or grabbing an old lady and yanking her out of existence. It's amazing. It's amazing. These people don't learn a lesson. Like these are their gods. Helpless creatures that they themselves have put together, and then they call on them besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what the shayateen do. They invite people to say, look, man, if you smear your face with cow dung, then you are technically cleaning yourself and you're becoming a better person. Like, oh, All right, let me try that. فيطيعونهم بذلك وطاعتهم هي عبادتهم. So they used to obey the devils in this command, and obeying them is worshiping them. لأن العبادة طاعة, because worship is obedience. كما قال تعالى مخاطبا لكل من اتخذ معه آلهة, such based on, or just as Allah has said while addressing anybody who has taken another God besides him, ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم. Do you guys know which surah this ayah is in? Do y'all know which surah these ayat are in? If you don't know, I would be petrified and traumatized and sad. I'm waiting for you guys to write the answer. Have I not taken a covenant upon you, O children of Adam, that you should not worship the devil? Verily, he is to you a clear enemy, and that you should worship me. This is a straight path. Yes, it is Surah Yasin. أحسنتم. أحسنتم. أكثرهم بهم مؤمنون أي مصدقون للجن مناقضون لهم لأن الإيمان هو التصديق الموجب للانقياد. So most of them, they believe in jinn, they obey the jinn because Iman is the acceptance that necessitates compliance. Iman is acceptance that necessitates compliance. فلما تبرأوا منهم قال تعالى مخاطبا لهم فاليوم لا يملك بعضكم لبعض نفعا ولا ضرا. So once they have declared their disassociation and innocence from each other, Allah will say, addressing all of them, today, where is it? أين الآيات? Hey, today you do not hold for one another benefit or harm. تقطعت بينكم الأسباب. All means have been cut off between you. وانقطع بعضكم من بعض. And you yourselves will be cut off from each other. وَنَقُولُ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا بِالْكُفْرِ وَالْمَعَاصِي بَعْدَمَا نُدْخِلُهُمُ النَّارَ. And we will say to those who have wronged themselves by disbelieving and by sinning after they have been admitted to the fire, ذُوقُوا عَذَابَ النَّارِ الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ بِهَا تُكَذِّبُونَ. Taste the torment of the fire that you used to deny. فَالْيَوْمَ عَايَنْتُمُوهَا. Today, عَايَنْتُمُوهَا from عَين, meaning today you have seen it firsthand with your naked eye. You have seen it with your eye firsthand, face to face. وَدَخَلْتُمُوهَا, and you have further entered it. جَزَاءً لِتَكْذِيبِكُمْ, as a compensation for your deniers, for your denials. وعقوبة لما أحدثه ذلك التكذيب من عدم الهرب من أسبابها, and as a punishment for what that lying has resulted in, which led you to not even escape from the means or the reasons that will permit you to the hellfire. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Should we continue? Yalla, continue ya Mussab.
وإذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا بينات قالوا ما هذا إلا رجل يريد أن يصدكم عما كان يعبد آباؤكم وقالوا ما هذا إلا إفك مفترى وقال الذين كفروا للحق لما جاءهم إن هذا إلا سحر مبين وما آتيناهم من كتب يدرسونها وما أرسلنا إليهم قبلك من نذير وكذب الذين من قبلهم وما بلغوا معشار ما آتيناهم فكذبوا رسلي فكيف كان نكير.
Subhanallah. And when our verses are recited to them as clear evidences, they say, this is not but a man who wishes to avert you from that which your fathers were worshipping. And they say, this is not except a lie invented. And those who disbelieve say of the truth when it has come to them, this is not but obvious magic. And those before them denied. And they, i.e. the people of Makkah, have not attained a tenth of what we had given them. But they, i.e., the former peoples, denied my messengers, so how terrible was my reproach. The Shaykh Rahimahullah says, يخبر تعالى عن حالة المشركين عندما تتلى عليهم آيات الله البينات وحججه الظاهرات وبراهينه القاطعات. عجيب. Allah tells us about the affair of the disbelievers when His ayat are recited upon them. His ayat, the ayat of Allah that are clear, and His proofs that are evident, and His unequivocal evidences. الدالة على كل خير الناهية عن كل شر. The one that indicates every type of good and it forbids every type of evil. التي هي أعظم نعمة جاءتهم ومنة وصلت إليهم, which is inevitably the greatest bounty that has come to them and the greatest provision that has reached them. الموجبة لمقابلتها بالإيمان والتصديق والانقياد والتسليم, which should necessitate that you reciprocate it with faith, acceptance, compliance, and submission. أنهم يقابلونها بضد ما ينبغي. However, what they did with that is that they opposed it, they met it, they received it, they reciprocated it with the opposite of what is expected. وَيُكَذِّبُونَ مَنْ جَاءَهُمْ بِهَا وَيَقُولُونَ, and they lie against and they deny the one who brought it to them, and they say, مَا هَذَا إِلَّا رَجُلٌ يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَصُدَّكُمْ عَمَّا كَانَ يَعْبُدُ آبَاؤُكُمْ. He's nothing but a man who wants to divert you from what your fathers used to worship. أي هذا قصده حين يأمركم بالإخلاص لله. So this is his intention when he commands you to be sincere to Allah. لِتَتْرُكُوا عَوَائِدَ آبَائِكُمْ الَّذِينَ تُعَظِّمُونَ وَتَمْشُونَ خَلْفَهُمْ. Just so that you can leave the ways of your fathers that you glorify and you go behind and you walk behind, you follow basically. فَرَدُّوا الْحَقَّ بِقَوْلِ الضَّالِّينَ. So they rejected the truth with the statement of the misguided people. وَلَمْ يُورِدُوا بُرْهَانًا وَلَا شُبَةً. They were not even able to provide even a proof, not even a doubt. فأي شبهة إذا أمرت الرسل بعض الضالين باتباع الحق. Where's the doubt? What doubt is there? What confusion is there if the messengers have commanded some of those misguided people to follow the truth? فادعوا أن إخوانهم الذين على طريقتهم لم يزالوا عليه. So they said, look, but our brothers who are upon the path, they're still upon the path of disbelief. وهذه السفاهة ورد الحق بأقوال الضالين إذا تأملت كل حق رد. This kind of feeble-mindedness, this kind of stupidity and the rejection of the truth by using the statements of the misguided people, if you actually observe and ponder upon every rejecter of the truth, فإذا هذا مآله, you will find that this is his destination, this is his way, this is his methodology. لا يرد إلا بأقوال الضالين من المشركين والدهريين والفلاسفة والصابئين والملحدين في دين الله المارقين. He is only able to reject the truth with the statement of the misguided people from among the polytheists and the people that believe they believe only in time. Yani they believe in you perish, there's no afterlife, no accountability, and philosophers and the Sabi'in and the atheists and the deniers, the agnostics. That's it. Those who have left the deen of Allah. فهم أسوة كل من رد الحق إلى يوم القيامة. Subhanallah. They are the example of everybody who rejects the truth until يوم القيامة. And my brothers and sisters, deja vu for you. This is deja vu for you. Because when you see our battle with the Asha'ira and the Jahmiyyah and the Mu'tazila and the Shia and the Sufiya and all of these groups, actually you will find that all of them are unable to reject the truth and retaliate with another truth from Islam, or to retaliate with truth from Islam. They actually are forced to refer to philosophical principles presented by kuffar and disbelievers in order to bring their argument forward. Like that foolish Arab who was trying to explain the concept of Isra and Mi'raj. So he's saying Mi'raj, the ascension of the Prophet ﷺ to the heaven, is only in status. It's like he ascended in status, and everything is allegory, everything is figurative, everything is symbolic. Allah is not above, because if the Prophet ﷺ ascended to Allah, that means Allah is in a direction, and woe to you. A'udhu billah, that you will affirm a direction for Allah, even though the Prophet ﷺ affirmed it, the slave girl affirmed it, the wives of the Prophet ﷺ affirmed it, the Sahabiyat and the Sahaba affirmed it, the Tabi'een affirmed it, the Ulama and the Aimma, all of them affirmed it. But then comes the Ash'ari, tell you, A'udhu billah, la, la, lillah, la jiha. ولا من الله ليس هنا وليس هناك وليس موجود وليس غير موجود وليس فوق وليس تحت وليس يعني what are you describing يا ابني besides nothing أصلا. Even nothing has more features than what you're describing. Even nothing has more features than what you're describing. Those people cannot. The guy's denying it. How else? Prophet got on a mount, and he literally went through the heavens, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the seventh, and then he heard the scratching, he heard the writing of the scribes in the Lawh al-Mahfuz. He heard what is being written. Ya Jama'at al-Khair, he went above. قاب قوسين أو أدنى إذ يخشى السدرة ما يخشى. I'll tell you, la, brother, I am the genius with the big mukh. It's all symbolic. Yep. That would be the Ash'ari for you, using philosophy to get by. ولما احتجوا, the scribes that write down, the angels that write down information. إيش بك يا جانا. ولما احتجوا بفعل آبائهم وجعلوها دافعة لما جاءت به الرسل. When they use now the actions of their fathers as an excuse, and they made it the cause and the drive for them behind what their messengers have brought, طعنوا بعد هذا بالحق. Then they proceeded to reject the truth. وقالوا ما هذا إلا إفك مفترى. They said this is nothing but a lie invented. أي كذب افتراه هذا الرجل الذي جاء به. So it's nothing but a lie that this man who brought it has invented. وقال الذين كفروا للحق لما جاءهم إن هذا إلا سحر مبين. And this, those who disbelieve said to the truth when it came to them, this is nothing but clear magic. أي سحر ظاهر بين لكل أحد. It is clear magic that everybody can spot, identify, and acknowledge. Of course they're lying. وتكذيبا بالحق وترويجا على السفهاء. And this is a means of them denying the truth, and also to make their product appealing, to make the product appeal to the feeble-minded people. ولما بين ما ردوا به الحق وأنها أقوال دون مرتبة شبهة. When Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned that what they used to reject the truth, and that they're all even below being a doubt. They don't even qualify to being even doubts, let alone a proof or an evidence. فضلا أن تكون حجة. ذكر أنهم وإن أراد أحد أن يحتج لهم فإنهم لا مستند لهم ولا لهم شيء يعتمدون عليه أصلا. Even if somebody wanted to refer to them, they actually have absolutely nothing to refer to and nothing to rely upon in the first place. وما آتيناهم من كتب يدرسونها حتى تكون عمدة لهم. They didn't have any books that they were given to study so that it could be their resource and reference. وما أرسلنا إليهم قبلك من نذير. Nor was a warner sent to them before you حتى يكون عندهم من أقوال وأحوال ما يدفعون به ما جئتم به, so that they will say, no, the previous messenger told us this and you telling us that. They don't even have that. فليس عندهم علم ولا أثارة من علم. They don't have knowledge, not even the remnants of knowledge from someone else. ثم خوفهم ما فعل بالأمم المكذبين قبلهم. Then Allah Azza wa Jal scared them with that which He did with the nations that belied before them. فقال وكذب الذين من قبلهم وما بلغوا أي ما بلغ هؤلاء المخاطبون. So those before them lied, and they had not reached معشار ما آتيناهم فكذبوا. They didn't even reach 1/10 of what those previous nations have reached. أي الأمم الذي من قبلهم رسلي فكيف كان نكير أي إنكاري عليهم وعقوبتهم. How was it then? How is my reproach, meaning, and my punishment to them? قد أعلمنا ما فعل بهم من النكال. We have let everybody know what we have done to them in terms of punishment. وأن منهم من أغرقه. Allah Azza wa Jal has drowned some of them, like the people of Musa, like the people of Fir'aun, عفوا. ومنهم من أهلكه بالريح العقيم. And some of them Allah destroyed with the strong, with the eradicating wind. وبالصيحة, and the scream, والرجفة, and the earthquake, وبالخسف بالأرض, and the swallowing of the earth. وبإرسال الحاصب من السماء, and by sending the punishment from the sky. فاحذروا يا هؤلاء المكذبون أن تدوموا على التكذيب. So be wary, O beliers, that you remain persistent on your lies. فيأخذكم كما أخذ من قبلكم ويصيبكم ما أصابهم. So you will be taken like those nations before you were taken, and you will be afflicted with that which they were afflicted with. And that, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and brothers and sisters, concludes the 45th ayah. Inshallah, we will continue with ayah 46. As I told you, there are 68 viewers right now, jumping all the way from 21 from earlier. 40 people come for the Q&A. 40 people only care about Q&A. Don't care about tafsir. Tafsir not important. We don't care, brother Abu Mussab, about your tafsir class or what the sheikh has to say. Thank you. We know. We only like to ask you questions so that you could make funny remarks and funny replies, and we could all have a good laugh for the weekend. Page 1480. Allah al-musta'an. إيش هذا؟ أين السؤال أيها الحلوين؟ وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. This incident actually happened to someone. If a man is trying to break the window or entrance to your house and he has a gun, is it permissible to shoot him before he gets in so he doesn't shoot or harm you? And does it make a difference if he doesn't have a weapon but trying to break in? This is the technical question, and I know there are a number of answers in terms of you protecting your wealth and your family, and that you take an initiative of shooting him. I need to go back to the fatwa before I answer this question. I don't want to speak off the top of my head. Nah. Would you recommend Amau Academy for a layman who wishes to become a talib al-ilm? Absolutely. Amau all the way. How to apply وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. As an honorable brother in English, Dawah Seen mentioned that this was revealed due to the Prophet ﷺ refuted the idols of Quraysh. Yeah. If I'm going to go give a lecture to a bunch of Hindus and I say what I said earlier, then you better believe that this is not ideal, because they will retaliate by cursing Allah Azza wa Jal. But here I am speaking to my audience. So yeah, you have to basically weigh it out. Because Allah Azza wa Jal himself made fun of and criticized the gods of the disbelievers, their so-called gods. So you have to understand this ayah in the light of the other ayah. Barakallah fiqh. How to respond to people who say the words of Qasida Burda as figurative and not literally shirk? By telling them that it is shirk. وَمِنْ عُلُومِكَ عِلْمُ اللَّوْحِ وَالْقَلَمِ. And when they say about the Prophet ﷺ, and part of your knowledge is the knowledge of the preserved tablet and the pen, there's nothing figurative about that. That is shirk. Walaikum assalam. Is it permissible to study Salafism, Wahhabism, Madkhalism terms for a post-grad research, but it'll be built upon modernist Muslim philosophers, kuffar, past researchers? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's ridiculous, Bob. Come on now. Is it permissible to ignore parents during the Sunnah prayers? No. Because it gets a bit repetitive. When the mother asks for something, I have to break my salah and repeat the entire prayer. So what? Tell her though. Tell her, Mom, I'm here now. I'm going to go back and pray. If you need anything, please let me know before I pray. So she will let you know. Or tell her, if I could have 5 minutes to pray, then I'll appreciate it. What's the big deal, man? I came across a lot of Islamic institutes in the West where I saw men and women attend lectures in the same room facing each other. How cute! Men and women post photos together. How is this even allowed? That's a good question. How is it allowed is beyond me. The better one is when the Sheikh himself poses with the sisters. You know, Mufti Menk standing in the middle with 2 sisters on the side, on the right side, 2 sisters on the left side. That is prime. That is prime craziness right there. How in the where? I don't even know what to say. Because these people don't understand Islam, man. Islam is a joke for them. Allah musta'an. He would be tripping, man. Be tripping. This guy with the longest questions in the dunya always. Do you know what the best Wi-Fi internet company there is in Saudi? What? Instead, if it's available in Medina, the best Wi-Fi internet company. What do you mean Wi-Fi company? There is no Wi-Fi company. If you want a carrier, brother, there's a big discussion. STC, Mobile, and Zain are the three carriers in Saudi Arabia. Those are the three main carriers. In each one of them has pros and cons. The biggest among them is STC, followed by Mobile, followed by Zain. Now, Zain sometimes has amazing 5G coverage where STC and Mobile don't have it. But then their calls might drop. It's a very technical question, man. I can't tell you. We're gonna enter into another realm right now. Come on, there are people asking Islamic questions, ya Sheikh. Is it acceptable to learn Tawheed from Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Wahab? My mosque calls Tawheed lessons every right. Are you kidding me, Yahya Madani? ايش بك يا boy? Is it permissible? Of course it's acceptable. If it's almost obligatory. Where are you going to learn Tawheed from? Sufis? Their Tawheed of calling on Abdul Qadir al-Jilani? Or you're going to learn from the Shia? With the knife? Ya Hussein, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. What? Wallah al-Azim, I saw the video yesterday. Uqsum billah, aghba khalq Allah. The dumbest people on planet Earth. Dude has two knives. He begins by going, and then he goes, what? Until his Sheikh split his head open. He's bleeding. All he's done, he moves on the side. The guy comes before him. What? Tawheed. Yeah, you learn from these people. Who are you going to learn from if you don't learn from Muhammad Abdul Wahab? Who are you going to learn from? Of course you're going to learn from Muhammad Abdul Wahab, rahimahullah. إيش بك يا شيخ? If you tell your family importance of Aqidah, like the names and attributes of Allah, Ma'mun, I knew. Look, I didn't even read the name. I started reading the question. As soon as I read this, I knew it was you. They respond, these things are not important. What is important is tafseer and being good. How do you respond? By listening to my entire playlist of every single lecture on my channel. Once you've gone through my entire channel, then you would have gotten that answer a good 500 times, ya Ma'mun. Will the rain purify an outdoor football turf? Purified from what? Footballs? Bruh. وإليكم. Says, could you please speak the hadith that mentions لا يأكل طعامك إلا تقي? Does it refer to inviting someone to your house to eat, or to more specific? That hadith is basically that you should befriend. It's a hadith that encourages you to befriend righteous people and to bring into your house righteous people. Do not mix and have bad companies, people that don't have any manners, don't have any etiquettes, don't follow the deen of Allah. However, if you bring in people to your house in order to give them da'wah, be it non-Muslims or Muslims that are barely practicing, then go ahead and bring them in. But the people that you accompany, the people that you spend time with, the people that you eat with on a regular basis should be people that follow the deen of Islam, people that fear Allah Azza wa Jal, not some random Joe from the street. What is ruling for a woman to use money from singing career to go to Hajj and Umrah? Haram. Haram. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Inna Allah tayyib, la yaqbalu illa tayyib. Allah is pure. He only loves that which is pure. He ain't going to make money from singing and then go do Hajj and Umrah. Inshallah, may Allah accept her repentance. If she repented, that's great news. Let her wali, her guardian, take care of her and take on Hajj. Or let her earn some halal money and go on Hajj. Nah. Wa alaikum salam. Stephen Curry, your favorite basketball player right now? No way. No way. I don't have a favorite basketball player right now. I'm a Michael Jordan fan for life. MJ is the GOAT and everybody else is just a wannabe. Nobody impresses me. Absolutely nobody impresses me. They all have their flaws. So I'm a Michael Jordan fan, period. May Allah guide him to Islam so he could benefit from his afterlife, because his life, he's definitely benefited from greatly, but he surely hasn't done what he needs to do to enter Jannah. So yes, he's a great basketball player, but he sucks in a sense that he hasn't figured out the purpose of life. But Stephen Curry, I'm greatly irritated by him, actually. I don't like him at all. Now, I know fiqh isn't your specialty, but can I pray Maghrib at Isha time if I've forgotten already prayed Isha? No. If you forgot Maghrib at the time of Isha, then you have to pray Maghrib first, then Isha. If you've already prayed Isha, you have to repeat Maghrib and then repeat Isha again. You cannot rearrange the sequence of the salawat. Did Allah remove all the ancient Egyptians? What does that mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Jana of Canaan. Yunus al-Kan'ani. I don't understand the question. I'm sorry, Habibi. Someone said to me that the rulers are committing major kufr. Allah. And doubting their kufr is also kufr. Allah. Is it true that scholars like Sheikh Baz didn't believe in al-udhr bil-jahl in major kufr? Allah. All of these are all three lies in one question. I don't know who you're speaking to, but believe me, some people lie shamelessly. They love to lie. I'm not saying that there aren't any rulers that are committing kufr. Of course, some of them might be, but please, there is a lot of investigation. There are a lot of conditions, indications, and contraindications that have to be met before you reach the point of judging someone to be a disbeliever. فتوفر الشروط وانتفاء الموانع وإقامة الحجة وفي أشياء many complex complicated matters. So you can't jump into this conclusion like that. Now, am I excused to pray in my room sometimes if the masjid is like 8-10 minutes away from where I live? If some scholars say yes, some scholars say no. So you need to ask a mufti. Does fasting 3 days for the expiation of an oath require that you do it right after the other? I don't remember. From what I know, no. But it's on Islam QA. Please check the fatwa on Islam QA. What's your opinion on Bilal As'ad? I don't know. He used to have a couple of decent emotional lectures, but the people he hangs out with in his company is definitely problematic. Wasn't he on the same panel with Umar Sulaiman and Mufti Menk? Those funny individuals being the celebrities that they are. I cannot get over the idea that there's a celebrity sheikh or a celebrity da'i. Like, how does that even work? Like, okay, there's a celebrity dancer, celebrity actor, celebrity footballer, but celebrity sheikh, like, how does that even work? Like, how does that even work? You could have a sheikh that is respected by the Muslims, that is honored by his students, that is, appreciated by the Muslim Ummah. Ay, abshir. Like Sheikh Salih Al-Fawzan, Hafidhahullah, Sheikh Suhaimi, and others among the ulama. No problem. Their students, they flock around them and they try to get, close to the sheikh and speak to them and get some benefit from them. No problem. But those English speaking da'is, the dude, truly and sincerely, they have an event that is similar to a concert with people like, having candles and, they're giving all these fluffy speeches. Nothing better than a fluffy speech. Like 3 people giving you a fluffy speech. And what do they use to gain and to shift the attention and the love and the attraction of the people? They use the suffering of the Palestinians and Gaza as the bait to fish in the big pond. If you want people to immediately love your guts and put you on their forefront and promote you, all you have to do is constantly post about the people in Gaza and the people in Palestine. Come and tell them, I feel with the Muslims. Blah, blah, blah. You don't teach the deen of Allah properly. You don't help the Muslims come back to the deen of Allah. You don't even tell the Muslims the truth about why we're suffering. You don't highlight the problems that we have in Ummah that we need to fix in order to overcome the issue in Palestine. No. You don't do any of that. You just cry like a lady. You just cry like a baby about the suffering of the Muslim Palestinians, and you automatically have the entire Ummah behind you. Why? Because you're a wolf, deceiver, and the Muslims are sheep. Illa man rahim Allah. And that's how they get you. Every Khariji today is using Palestine to promote his khuruj. And every Takfiri is using Palestine to promote his takfir. And every deviant, every Shia, every Ash'ari is using Palestine to promote his Ash'ariyah. Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi was an Ash'ari. So what did you do the other Baliludu? Everybody comes to the front and tells they use Palestine to get what they want. To get what they want. And you have been deceived. Allahu Akbar. This title, inshallah, will be forever. Palestine, you've been deceived. You are continuously being deceived by these crooked individuals. That's Bilal As'ad sitting on a panel with these people. Yalla, mashi. Enough, khalas, we're done. Go back to my lecture, the Takfir fiasco of Lupe fiasco. All right. Jazakumullah khairan. No, I'm not. That's it. We're done. Subhanakallah bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.